Bismillah.
Bismillah. Hi guys, welcome to the third episode of Arabic Word by Word. I'm Heather.
I'm Yusuf.
Today we want to talk about Ramadan. And Yusuf, can you say the word?
Ramadan.
Okay, just in case my pronunciation
Yeah.
is not
Uh-huh.
accurate as the
Yeah.
non-native Arabic speaker here. So this, as most people know, it's the most holy month in the Islamic calendar. So why is it the most holy month?
Yeah, because it's the month of the Quran, which is a Quran revealed at this month.
Okay. And so since it's the most holy month, what do Muslims do in Ramadan? And actually maybe we should start with what do they do before Ramadan? Are there preparations and things of that nature?
Yeah. So most people know that as we Muslim, we fasting from sunrise to the sunset. So at this time, as Muslim, we cannot eat or drink. You cannot put anything in your mouth or you drink any something. You're totally fasting, and if you do anything like opposite than that, you break your fasting.
Wait, can I
So
brush my teeth?
yes, of course, you can
Okay, you
brush your
spit
teeth, but
everything.
you cannot
You cannot
yeah, you
swallow.
can brush your
You
teeth.
can't swallow
Yeah, you
anything.
cannot swallow. Yeah,
Okay.
because that's gonna spoil your fasting if you swallow
Yeah, and you
anything.
don't want to break your fast. Okay. And also we
Yes,
should mention
exactly.
here because the Islamic calendar is a lunar calendar, it does not follow the same months or the same time
Yeah,
frame as like the Gregorian calendar that a lot of the country in the world follows. So the month of Ramadan can fall at different times of year, and it does change every year. And
yes,
so, like, for
exactly.
example, this year it's going to be in March of the Gregorian calendar,
Yeah,
so the days are going to be shorter because, as Yusuf said, it's
yeah,
sunrise to sunset. But when it falls in the summer months, the days are much longer. So again,
yeah,
your fast is going to be longer and just more more
yeah,
challenging.
yeah,
And also the
yeah,
heat. If you're in Egypt, for example, like you, not being able to
yes,
drink for all of those hot days is
yes,
challenging. So just something to keep in
yes, and that's a good sign.
mind.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to do, fasting. So the fasting, it shows you to feel how other people that they cannot have water or cannot have food, how they feeling. And it's also not just like fasting from food or water. You have, you have to must like fasting from everything is like haram, which mean like something not allowed. You, like you doing anything haram, like you talk bad about person, like you look to other like
Being
girls or
jealous.
something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, all
Mm-hmm.
these things is haram and can spoil your fasting. So it's not just like water or like food. It's from a lot of things to
Mm-hmm.
keep you like a good Muslim or a good person.
Right.
So
So you're
that's like a
trying to be
practice.
the most
Yeah, like a practice.
pure version of yourself. You are, and you're doing this for
Yes,
Allah.
exactly.
You're trying to be
Yes, exactly.
in the purest
Exactly.
form. Okay.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And even if some people they don't know about fasting, they're gonna say, "How I can be all this time without food or
Mm-hmm.
water?" That's so hard. That's like a feeling. It's so hard for Muslim to do that. It's not hard, and Allah is most merciful.
Mm-hmm.
So even He knows that you can do that. So, and even like Allah mentioned in Quran to the people, like if they are traveling or they get sick, you can
Mm-hmm.
break your fast and you can not fasting.
If
So Allah is so merciful.
if women are pregnant, they're not allowed to fast.
Yeah, if women is pregnant and they're not allowed
Women
to fast,
women who are on their
yes,
period,
the
you
women,
cannot fast during those days,
yeah,
but you're
women,
supposed to make
yeah,
those days up
exactly,
at a later point
exactly,
before
yeah,
the next
exactly,
Ramadan.
later point. And if you get so sick and you can't do it at later point, you can feed like a poor people. You know, you can feed them instead you fasting. Like
Mm-hmm.
so that's a good example for Allah how mercy and a lot of even like scientists now proving that being fasting that is good for your body. That's
Yeah,
like a
it's
good
true.
thing and it's so healthy
There's a
to
trend
your
right now of
body.
intermittent fasting where people are trying to go 12 hours without eating or
Yeah,
sometimes 16 hours. And I mean, that's what Ramadan is. Like this year, it's going to be around 12 hours. because it's happening in the
Yes.
winter months, and in the summertime it's around 16 hours. So like the things that are being proven now by science have been,
Yes,
like
exactly.
commanded to us to do, and
Yes.
for reasons not just for health. That's only one reason.
Yeah.
That's a small
Yeah.
portion of why we should do this, but it's just like proof
Yes.
that like these
Your
things are
body
actually
needs
good.
it. Yeah, your body needed the fasting. It's so healthy. The scientists proving that. Even non-Muslim people, they advise people to be in fast time, and they talking a lot about how that's so good to your body to be in fasting, and how like even if you have like Allah protect all of us to people listen to this podcast. But even if you have cancers, like fasting can kill the cancer inside your body if you have anything is like that. So. Yeah, subhanallah, exactly. So a lot of benefits of being fasting. A lot of people like they gonna say like fasting is so hard, like you fasting like this 12 hours or whatever from sunrise to sunset.
It is hard. Like
So
both of us have done it, and yeah, you get thirsty, you get hungry,
yeah,
but it doesn't.
but Allah reward you like more when you feel that, and it's good to feel other people that people they don't have food, they don't have water, and you can see an example for people in Gaza they don't have food or water, they suffering that, and what's when you feel these other people, you're gonna like build something inside you to feel others, and that's
Yeah,
something good when you feel others,
your sympathy, your
and
empathy for the suffering.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And you see like poor people in your country, whatever you love, you live in, and you feel them when they get hungry or food, so you can give them back. You see like I felt that, so you can give these people back. So Ramadan is not just like fasting to don't eat or drink. It's just like way more for us as Muslim.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you said you can give to the poor, you can donate, you can do other things. For example, if you need to skip a day. Now, tell us more for those who've never been in a Muslim country. What is it like during Ramadan? What is the vibe like?
Yeah, the Ramadan is one of the amazing vibes. Like for us, like we cannot wait this month. Like we are so happy this month's coming, and especially in Egypt, like it's one of the amazing months there in the
And
world.
can I
So the
interrupt
people,
you? There's even when a sheikh is talking,
yeah,
so like the leader of the mosque, like they're saying like making prayer, making dua, like please let us live to the next Ramadan, right? So it's also this forward
yeah,
looking.
yeah,
We're looking forward to please, like I want
yeah,
to be alive for the
yeah.
next
اللهم
Ramadan.
بلغنا رمضان which mean in Arabic. Yeah,
hmm So just so people know,
yeah.
like
اللهم بلغنا رمضان.
it's not like Ramadan is not on our minds. Like it's something you think about like, the whole year, not just
Yeah,
like the day before it starts, for example.
yes,
hmm
exactly. Because Ramadan is the month of the faith, the month of the practicing being a good person. Like it's feel like it's very refreshing so much for this month is coming to you, and how like your heart is worship Allah, and
hmm
all this feeling so good away at this month, like, and the vibes is amazing, as we say
Yeah.
that the
What's it
vibes is
like on the
so.
streets if you go out?
Yeah, yeah. If you go out, for example, if you go out in Egypt, you're gonna see the decoration everywhere. Like for Ramadan, people put decoration in the streets, and
What
they
kind of
collecting
decorations? What kind?
like
Can you tell us? We got it.
like
hmm So
light turn,
lights,
and
streamers, there's lights, kind of
yeah,
all over. So for those of us who
yeah,
live in maybe a Christian dominated country, it's that vibe
yeah,
of Christmas time where there's lights everywhere, there's music, there's this very joyous feeling that
yeah,
I feel is
yeah,
very similar, even though I'm not Christian and I've never have been, to the Christmas
yeah,
vibe where everything's building up for Christmas. And it
yeah.
is like for us that it's like a whole month where people are preparing
Mm-hmm.
and people put the lights on their house very early. Ramadan's the same, like the vibe, the decoration. It's
Yeah.
to me feels very like
I,
joyous and
and
hmm
yeah, and I want to tell you guys, like Christians in Egypt, they waiting Ramadan more than Muslim.
why?
I swear. They love this month so much, and they love the vibes of the Ramadan.
Because they're not
In
fasting.
yeah, maybe yeah, it's true.
They're enjoying the vibes.
Yeah, but
You know,
they love
that's a
the
little bit
vibes
like
so
me.
much.
Yeah, but like me in Christmas
Yeah,
time, I have no stress of buying gifts. I have none of the stress of Christmas. I just have the vibes of like lights and like pretty things,
yeah,
but I don't have to have the stress. So it's kind of like me living in America,
yeah,
not celebrating Christmas. Like I'm just in my little world, like,
yeah.
hee hee, this is pretty, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Christian people are the same in Egypt. They waiting for this month. They love the decorations. They love the vibes. They love people who are doing in the streets. The people they eating together. So
Uh-huh.
this month, like, is called the month of collecting people
Wait,
together so much
explain
and
people
way
eating in
more.
the streets because you just said people are fasting.
Yeah, they eating in sunset.
Okay.
They eating when the Adhan is coming, which means the prayer time of called the Maghrib. At
Mhm.
this time's come, like halas, like it's it's halas, it's the being like people breaking their fasting at this time.
Mhm.
So a lot of people do that in Egypt, and that's a good thing. They making like kind of big tables, and then making food, a lot of food, like so much food
Mhm.
and juice and dates and milk and all these things they make it. And when the Azan is coming, they collect all people from street,
Wow.
and mostly they focus in the people like they focus more in the people like they don't have, like the homeless people. They trying to give them more because
Yeah.
these people are deserving than other. And then after that, they making that it's called the Ma'idah, which mean like a table for Rahman. It's called the Ma'idat al-Rahman,
Mhm.
which mean like a table for Rahman. It's the name of Allah.
The merciful,
That
the most
mean,
merciful.
the merciful. Yeah, so
Mhm.
you give mercy to this pack to the people,
Okay,
whatever
so
it is, they are Muslim, not Muslim, whatever they
because
can come and eat on.
because this is a podcast and we cannot see it, I'm just going to paint a picture. It's like
Yeah,
a big wedding, like huge long tables in between like buildings and houses,
yeah,
and everyone's
yeah,
invited. And yeah, it's
yeah,
everybody's breaking their fast at the same time. So it's like
yeah,
everybody, it's this collective joyous moment of like
yeah,
you've been fasting all day. Yes, it's like hard, like it's not an insurmountable hard, but it's difficult, right? You want to drink and you want to eat, and everyone comes together to break the fast, you know, and it's like
yeah,
you're sharing, you know. There's also that whole idea of
yeah,
like like when I'm in America and I'm fasting by myself, like I miss it, you know, like I'm just okay, I'm gonna break my fast. Like I'm the only one fasting, so I'll eat my date by
uh-huh,
myself. It's not the same as
uh-huh.
being in a huge group. I think some
Yeah,
people can't imagine like how many people are on the streets. Like,
amazing, amazing.
yeah, it's an amazing vibe. So it's
Yeah,
basically like a wedding, like a huge wedding.
yeah,
But
yeah,
there's
and people
also
are
the notion we
happy.
need to explain that like
Yeah,
anyone you might not even know these people, but like in 5 minutes, like you're gonna treat them like they're your best friend. Like this just
yeah,
happens
like
in
their
Egypt.
family. Yeah,
This does not happen in like America, for example.
yeah,
Um, so there's that vibe that
yeah,
like people just, you know, they gather and they like
yeah.
are very friendly. They welcome you in.
Yeah, just taking care of each other and making sure like everybody like like have his meal because a lot of people is coming,
Yeah.
so a lot of people do that in everywhere in Egypt.
Hmm.
And you can go and search if people like they listening us to us, they can go and watch how it is and the decoration and the vibes, how it's very amazing in this. So it is a month of collecting, like which mean collecting the families together.
Getting
So
together.
every
Hmm.
day, yeah, getting together. So every day in this month we collecting in house on your family members, and they eating together and they serve all the food and all the kids coming and
Mm.
all this happens. So this vibes it's so amazing in
Yeah.
Egypt or any Arabic country.
Hmm.
It's so good to have this sitting with your family and eating together, waiting the azan together, to time to break the fasting.
Hmm.
So all these things, it's a good vibes, and the kids playing and they're happy
And I
that
love
they're
so
gonna break
much
their
that
fasting.
even if you don't have family, you know, or even if you're poor, like
Yeah,
there's the things on the street. Like people are taking care of other people. People are being generous.
yeah,
You know, I know you've told
yeah,
me like, oh, some random person like gave me juice, like because it was about to be time to break the
yeah,
fast. Like people are just
yeah.
handing
I
out,
did that.
and you've done it as
I did
well.
that before.
Hmm.
Yeah, I did before. Yeah,
So
like people can give other people like juice or dates So people, they are like, they finishing their work late and they are in the road and they cannot get home to break their fasting with their family. So a lot of people in the streets, they waiting you with juice
Oh.
and dates and food and meals, small meals, so you can give it to you in your car, so you can eat, and even if you're walking, you're gonna find a lot of people like in this way, they're gonna give you food.
Yeah, it's
And
so
I did
generous.
that before. I was giving people like a lot of like juice or things like that, and like 3 years ago from Ramadan, I was doing that too. It was amazing. The feeling of making people break their fasting, it's gonna make you so happy when you give people like, it's a feeling, it's amazing in this month. When you give people like to break their fasting, because breaking fasting after like they fasting like 12 hours or 14 hours, whatever it is, and then you give something to break their fasting, it's so happy for people to see that.
So I think the best thing people should do if they're curious about Ramadan is to, we all have technology at our fingertips, like go, YouTube, like Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is you use, like go see videos, see what it looks like in different places. And just, I think the lesson for all of us is like being generous, like having the empathy
Exactly. The
and the
answer is the
sympathy.
generosity.
So you don't have to be Muslim and follow all these things, but you can still take the most beautiful parts of something that you've learned about and put it into your life, So I think
Yes,
Ramadan, it's a
exactly.
beautiful gift. And
Yeah.
before
In
I
between
became
the
Muslim,
letters.
I thought it was so hard, and I saw it as this like maybe this month that is it's this difficult kind of trial and test that you have to go through. And the way that you approached it surprised me, because you were like, I can't wait. I love Ramadan. And I was like, how can he
Yeah.
love like suffering?
We cannot wait. All of us cannot
Yeah.
wait for this
Like
one.
it surprised me in a good way to understand how I was seeing it very negatively
Yeah.
as like a suffering, difficult month. And you were like, this is the best month of the year. And you were so excited.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think
Everything
it's a
is
good.
different in this month.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. I mean, like, there is something good happen in Egypt that the neighbors can give you, like on a plate of sweets, and you can change them back. Like after they give you this, you follow it also with things and give it them back. So, like, this is like a plate go every house, like in the neighbor area, like it's so amazing, these vibes, like, and the decoration in the street and all this thing is on the plate that going every house, from this house to this house, from sweets and things like called the kunafa and basbousa, these things, it's so delicious and it's so amazing in this month.
Okay, so hopefully people, inshallah, you learned something about Ramadan,
Yeah,
and we wish
yeah,
you
we hope so.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Yeah, and Ramadan Kareem for everybody.
So blessed or generous Ramadan from us.
Yeah,
And
for all people, whatever they are, Muslim, Christians, whatever they are, Ramadan Kareem for everybody.
mhm. And thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Shukran.
Yeah,
Thank you.
see you soon, guys.
Bye.
Ma'as-salama.
Ma salama.
Bye. Salam, guys.